On the second day in my new dorm, my roommate's underwear was found in my closet. "You're a pervert," Jake said, glaring at me with open disgust. "Fucking gay." That night, he quietly climbed into my bed. When I first arrived at the freshman dorm, dragging my suitcase and breathing heavily, there was only one empty bed left. My 3 new roommates were each absorbed in their own worlds. Jake, the campus bully, sat across from the bed playing video games. Matt, the class genius, was deeply focused on his book. The third roommate, a rich kid, was busy talking to his girlfriend on the phone. Hoping to start things off peacefully, I smiled politely. "Hi everyone. I'm also a freshman. My name's Alex." They barely turned their heads, giving me a quick glance before returning to their activities. No one responded. I didn't know what else to say, so I awkwardly pulled my suitcase to my bed and began unpacking. Jake eventually finished his game and took off his headset. He stretched his neck, rolled his shoulders, then stood to head to the bathroom. Our dorm was spacious, the walkways wide, but as he passed me, he deliberately kicked my suitcase. He didn't say a word. I was too intimidated to call him out. When he came back, his eyes fell on the BL manga in my suitcase. He picked one up, flipping straight to a page with an explicit scene. Turning it toward the others, he smirked. "Dude, look what he reads. It's 2 guys getting it on." My face burned as I tried to snatch it back. Jake was tall, muscular, and athlete. He held the book high above his head, easily out of my reach no matter how much I jumped. "Give it back," I shouted in frustration. After tormenting me for a while, Jake jabbed my chest with the manga, eyes fierce. "You little sissy. Watch yourself. If you try anything weird in this dorm, anything that disgusts me, I'll end you." Looking at his fist, the size of a baseball, the veins bulging on his arms, I swallowed my pride and turned away, continuing to unpack in silence. The next morning, Jake was getting ready to do laundry when he realized a pair of his underwear was missing. He threw open my closet and pulled out a pair of gray briefs that smelled of sweat. "It wasn't me. Why would I steal your underwear? I have my own," I protested. He didn't listen. Grabbing my collar, he slammed me against the wall and raised his fist. Matt had just finished washing up and came over with a towel draped around his neck, trying to defuse the situation. "Calm down. It might be a misunderstanding. If you start fighting the first week, your mom will kill you when she finds out." Jake and Matt were childhood friends. Out of respect for Matt, Jake let me go, shoving me away roughly. "You sick pervert. Next time, I'll beat you to death." He snatched back the underwear, angrily washed it, hung it to dry, and stormed out. I was still trembling from the encounter when Matt tried to comfort me. He missed my shoulder the first time but patted it on the second attempt. "That's just his bad temper. Don't take it personally." Matt was severely nearsighted, with black hair and pale skin. He usually wore thick glasses that obscured most of his expression. His clothes and shoes were always black, white, or gray. Earlier, while washing up, he'd left his glasses on top of the water dispenser. Now he was fumbling for them. I picked them up and handed them over. "Here. Thanks." He started to walk away, then hesitated. Frowning, he turned back. "Are you gay?" I nodded. "Yeah." His bangs and the thickness of his lenses made it hard to read his expression as he passed by me. "Don't steal Jake's underwear again. And please don't steal mine either." I froze, stunned, then quickly blurted out, "It wasn't me. Just because I like guys doesn't mean I'm into anyone. He's all muscle and bad temper, like a bullfrog. I don't like him at all." Since Jake wasn't in the dorm, I went on a full rant. But as I was complaining, the door creaked open. Jake stood there, face dark with anger. That night, after everyone had gone to bed, I was reading manga under my small night light. My bed curtains were fully closed, giving me a fragile sense of privacy. I was about to turn off the light when the zipper on my curtains slowly slid upward from the outside. "Alex, are you asleep?" Jake's deep voice came through. "I can't sleep." My first thought was revenge. I quickly covered my face with the manga and pretended to be asleep. Jake's foot was still on the ladder as he stuck his head inside the curtain. His steady breathing filled the small space. He stayed silent for a few seconds, as if debating whether to wake me up. Then he sighed and gently removed the manga from my face. I didn't know what he was thinking, but after a moment, he muttered, "Always reading this trash. Are you that desperate for a man?" I expected him to mock me and leave. Instead, his breathing drew closer. Something soft brushed against my lips. A fleeting touch, like a dragonfly skimming the surface of a pond. Jake had kissed me. He pulled back, voice low and playful, his fingers brushing my forehead and cheek. You're actually pretty good looking. High nose bridge, long eyelashes, soft skin. Alex, with such a provocative face, how many men have loved you? Is collecting men's underwear your fetish? His words turned sharper, more mocking. Under the blanket, my right hand clenched into a fist. I wanted to slap him, but before I could react, he kissed me again, this time harder until my lower lip throbbed. I realized he was humiliating me, deliberately taking revenge. If I woke up now and yelled, would he laugh? Or would he punch me? He didn't stop, trying to force my mouth open. Cold sweat broke out on my back. I let out a muffled sound, hoping he'd take it as a warning. He froze, then pulled away. My night light clicked off. The curtain fell back into place, and his footsteps retreated quickly. I lay there, unable to sleep, my mind in chaos. I thought that kiss was just a cruel prank, a secret humiliation I couldn't tell anyone about. Things were quiet for a few days, until someone climbed into my bed again in the middle of the night. My heart hammered as the mattress dipped under the weight. I squeezed my eyes shut, pretending to be lost in a deep dream, though every nerve in my body was straining. Was it Jake again? Back to torment me with more pranks? Or maybe the rich kid, Ethan, that was his name, playing some strange privileged boy game? The curtain zipper slid up slowly, like the setup to a horror scene, and a hand brushed against my arm. Alex! The whisper was low, but unmistakable. Jake, of course. Who else would waltz into my personal space without a second thought? I stayed still, breathing evenly, willing him to get bored and leave. No such luck. He shifted closer, his breath warm against my neck. You awake? Inside, I was screaming. What now? Another kiss for humiliation's sake? His fingers skimmed lightly down my arm, sending unwanted shivers up my spine. Then he chuckled, soft and smug. You're a terrible actor, you know that? Your eyelashes are fluttering like you're having a seizure. Busted. I cracked one eye open, glaring at him in the faint glow from my phone screen, the one I'd forgotten to turn off. What do you want, Jake? If you're here to call me a pervert again, save it. He grinned. That cocky athlete smile I hated admitting made my stomach flip. Nah, couldn't sleep. Your bed looks comfier than mine. He flopped down beside me, making the small dorm bed creak in protest. I scooted until my back hit the wall. This isn't a sleepover. Get out. Jake ignored me, propping himself up on one elbow. So, about that manga of yours, you got any more? The one with the two guys. My face went hot. No, and even if I did, I'm not sharing with you. You're the one who called it trash. He laughed, a low, deep rumble in the cramped space. Trash? Nah, it was kinda hot. Made me curious. His eyes gleamed with mischief, and before I could process, he leaned in. This time, the kiss wasn't quick. It was slow, testing, like he was gauging my reaction. My brain short-circuited. The campus bully was kissing me. I pushed him back, breathless. What the Jake, are you drunk? He smirked, sober as a judge. Just experimenting. And with that, he rolled out of bed, zipped the curtain shut and said, Night, Alex. Sweet dreams. I lay there, staring at the ceiling, heart still pounding. What the hell just happened? And why did part of me want it to happen again? Breakfast the next morning was awkward. Ethan sat bragging about his new designer sneakers to no one in particular. Matt squinted into his cereal, his glasses crooked. Jake acted like nothing had happened, shoveling eggs into his mouth and trash-talking some video game boss. I kept sneaking glances at him, wondering if last night was real. When our eyes met, he winked. I choked on my toast, coughing until Matt patted my back, missing the first 2 tries. You okay, Alex? Matt asked, peering at me through his smudged lenses. Yeah, just wrong pipe. I shot a glare at Jake, who smirked into his plate. After classes, I hid in the library, trying to focus on homework but replaying the kiss over and over. He's straight. Has to be. Probably has a girlfriend somewhere. But the way he touched me, it felt real. That night, no visitor. Relief mixed with disappointment. A week later, the underwear drama returned. This time, Matt's boxers went missing. I found them tangled in my bedsheets while changing them. Matt noticed first, rummaging through his drawer. Has anyone seen my... Oh. He froze when he spotted them. His pale face turned pink. It's not what it looks like, I blurted, holding them at arm's length like they were toxic. I swear, I don't know how they got here. Jake burst out laughing from his bed. Dude, Alex, again? You building a collection or what? Ethan looked up from his phone. Gross, man. My dad's a lawyer. I could sue for harassment. Matt frowned, adjusting his glasses. If you need underwear, I can lend you some. But stealing? Not cool. I'm not stealing, I groaned. Maybe the dryer's cursed. Jake stood, still laughing. Let's investigate, then. Field trip to the laundry room. We all ended up crammed in the basement laundry, me protesting the whole way. Jake staged a dramatic reenactment of the crime, sneaking underwear into a dryer with exaggerated pervert faces. Ethan filmed it, howling with laughter. Even Matt cracked a smile, though he kept bumping into machines without his glasses. See? Ghost of the dorm, Jake declared, tossing a pair of socks at me. I dodged. They hit Ethan instead, who yelped. By the time we headed back, we were all laughing. Jake slung an arm around my shoulders. Admit it, pervert. You're framing yourself for fun. I shoved him off, smiling despite myself. Shut up. That night, Jake climbed in again. No pretense this time. Miss me? He whispered, pulling me close. The kiss was deeper, his hands wandering. Romantic, terrifyingly so, but also ridiculous. His phone buzzed mid-kiss, blasting a duck-quacking ringtone. We froze, then burst into giggles. Romantic mood killer, I muttered. He grinned. We'll fix that next time. Matt, ever the genius, suggested a dorm bonding activity. His plan? A blind date night with the girls' dorm next door. It'll be fun. Statistical probability of positive interactions is high. I'm gay, Matt. Remember? He blinked. Oh, right. You can be the wingman. Jake, overhearing, smirked. Or I can set you up with a guy. I know a few on the team who might swing that way. My heart skipped. Jealous? Or just teasing? The date night was chaos. Ethan arrived in a suit worth more than my tuition, impressing no one. Matt brought flashcards with conversation starters, fumbling them everywhere. He'd forgotten his glasses again. Jake's date was a bubbly girl who kept flirting with him, but he spent most of the night glancing at me. I was stuck wingmaning for Matt, who tried to break the ice by asking his date if she believed in quantum entanglement. The highlight of the night? Jake had accidentally spilled punch on his date's dress, then leaned toward me and whispered, "Save me, Alex. She's talking about her cat's Instagram." I dragged him away under the pretense of helping clean up. In the hallway, he pinned me against the wall. Thanks for the rescue. His lips met mine, urgent yet sweet. Romantic under fluorescent lights? Surprisingly, yes. That moment ended fast when Ethan burst through the door, phone in hand. Guys, Matt just proposed marriage by mistake. Come quick. We ran back to find Matt on one knee, picking up his dropped flashcards. The girl in front of him looked horrified. Laughter erupted, and the night closed with us sharing pizza, Jake's hand brushing mine under the table in secret. Midterms loomed, so Matt organized a study group. Efficiency through collaboration, he declared, pushing his glasses up his nose. Books were scattered everywhere in the dorm. Ethan complained about ruining his vibe but joined anyway. Jake pretended to study while doodling stick figures of muscular guys fighting. Was that supposed to be him and me? I tried to focus on math, but Jake's foot nudged mine. I kicked back. Soon it was a sneaky footsie war, until I accidentally kicked Matt. He yelped, knocked over his water, and soaked Ethan's notes. Disaster! Ethan wailed, fanning his papers like they were priceless artifacts. Matt, ever calm, suggested a break. Hydration and humor increase retention by 20%. During that break, Jake cornered me in the bathroom. You're distracting me, he murmured, kissing my neck. Me? You're the one who started footsie. He laughed against my skin. Can't help it. You're cute when you're concentrating. Romantic whispers amid toothpaste tubes, who knew? Back at the table, Jake slipped me a note. Meet me on the roof after? My heart fluttered. The rest of the study session was filled with Matt's fun facts. Did you know pi is infinite? Like my patience for you idiots. And Ethan's rich kid groaning. Why study when I can hire a tutor? Later, on the roof, Jake pulled me into a hug. Stars are out. Romantic, huh? We kissed under the night sky, wind in our hair. Then the door slammed. Matt, looking for his lost textbook. Oh, a carry-on. We never spoke of it again. One afternoon, Jake dragged me to the gym. You need muscles, sissy. Can't have my roommate looking weak and getting picked on by anyone but me. His grin was smug as he tossed me a pair of workout shorts from his drawer. They smelled faintly like his cologne and sweat. Great. I'm fine with my cardio being running away from bullies like you, I grumbled as we walked. The gym was packed. Jake stripped off his shirt, muscles flexing under the harsh lights. Sweat glistened on his skin. I tried not to stare, and failed. He caught me and winked. Like what you see. Motivation to pump some iron. I escaped to the treadmill but 5 minutes later tripped and face-planted. The belt dragged me backward until I stopped it. Jake laughed so hard from across the room he nearly dropped a barbell. Then actually dropped it on his foot. Karma? I told him, rubbing my scraped knees. He limped over, still laughing, and guided me to the weight machines. His hands adjusted my shoulders, his breath warm on my neck. Romantic? In a sweaty, grunty way, maybe. After an hour, I collapsed on a bench while he looked annoyingly energized. Not bad for a first-timer, he said. You might even get abs someday. In the locker room, steam thick in the air, his gaze lingered a moment too long. Then he pulled me into an empty shower stall, pressed me against the wall, and kissed me. Fierce, hungry. His hands roamed under my shirt, heat flooding my chest. His phone buzzed with Ethan's ridiculous pop song ringtone. We cracked up at the timing and rushed back to the dorm after reading Ethan's text. Where are you guys? Matt set the microwave on fire trying to study popcorn physics. Smoke filled the kitchenette. Matt waved a towel. Entropy got the best of me. Jake bumped my shoulder. See? Gym time leads to adventures. After that, Jake's nighttime visits became routine. Slipping into my bed after lights out, kisses turning from teasing to passionate. In the dark, his hands explored with confidence. By day, he acted unchanged, calling me sissy and roughhousing with Matt. One night, after a particularly heated make-out, I whispered, "What are we doing, Jake? Is this serious? Having fun. Exploring. Why label it?" He said. My heart sank, but I forced a smile. Yeah, sure. The next day, Ethan found one of my BL mangas under Jake's bed. Jake, this yours? Didn't know you were into guys getting all romantic. Jake's face went red. No, it's Alex's. Matt, barely looking up from his book, added, probability of hidden feelings. 65%. Jake stormed out. I followed and found him on a bench tossing pebbles into a fountain. That manga? I've been reading it, he admitted. And the kisses. It's not just fun. I like you. For real. Like can't stop thinking about you real. Then why act like nothing's happening? I asked. Scared, he said. Never felt this way about a guy. What if people find out? I took his hand. We'll figure it out. Together. The leaves rustled overhead. Birds chirped. It was the kind of moment that felt straight out of a movie. Then, as if the universe conspired, a sudden downpour hit. Rain poured from the sky, drenching us in seconds. We yelped and scrambled for cover, but slipped on the wet grass and tumbled into a muddy puddle. Laughing hysterically, covered in dirt, Jake pulled me close for a kiss amid the storm. Guess that's our sign. Messy, but worth it. We ran back to the dorm, dripping water everywhere. Ethan took one look and grinned. Mud wrestling? Kinky. Matt handed us towels, missing Jake's hand twice in the process. Precipitation probability was 80%. You should have checked the app. That night, Jake climbed in again. But this time it was different, tender, with whispered promises. No more confusion. Just us. To normalize our budding relationship, Jake suggested a double date with Matt and a girl he'd set up from his psych class. It'll be low-key. Dinner, movies. Prove we're not just sneaking around. I was nervous, our first official outing as a couple, even if disguised as a group thing. Ethan, overhearing, invited himself as the fifth wheel. Someone's gotta document the disaster for posterity. We met at a casual diner off campus, the kind with sticky booths and neon signs. Matt's date, Lisa, was a bubbly biology major with curly hair and an infectious laugh. Matt showed up in his usual black attire, clutching a stack of flashcards. Prepared conversation starters. Increases engagement by 40%. Lisa eyed them curiously. Cool. Jake and I sat across from them, our knees bumping under the table. He squeezed my hand secretly, sending warm tingles up my arm. You look good, he whispered, his breath tickling my ear. Romantic vibes were high until Matt pulled out his first card. Question 1. Do you believe in quantum entanglement as a metaphor for relationships? Lisa blinked. Like soulmates. Ethan, munching fries, snorted. Smooth, Matt. Next you'll ask about her DNA sequence. The evening devolved from there. Matt's date strategy involved graphs on his phone explaining compatibility percentages based on zodiac signs and blood types. Lisa tried to steer it toward normal topics. So, what's your major? But Matt launched into a lecture on neural pathways. Jake and I stole moments amid the chaos. His foot nudging mine, shared glances that said, "This is hilarious." Under the table, our fingers intertwined, a secret anchor. But when dessert came, Matt accidentally proposed, dropping to one knee to pick up a fallen flashcard while saying, "Will you be my constant in this equation?" Lisa's eyes widened in horror. We just met." She bolted, leaving Matt confused. Did I miscalculate the variables? Ethan howled with laughter, filming the whole thing. This is gold. Viral potential. Jake and I couldn't hold it in, bursting into giggles. The night shifted to just us guys, ordering more food and turning it into a group hangout. Jake leaned close as we walked back. Sorry it bombed, but I had fun with you. His arm around my shoulders felt right, romantic stroll under streetlights. Back at the dorm, Matt analyzed the failure over instant noodles. Next time, less science. Ethan patted his back. Or find a girl who's into nerds. Jake pulled me aside for a quick kiss in the hallway. Our part was perfect. Despite the debacle, it strengthened us, laughter binding the romance. Halloween rolled around, and the dorm threw a massive party. Costumes, punch, thumping music in the common lounge. I dressed as a vampire, complete with cape and fake fangs. Ironic, given the pervert label Jake slapped on me early on. Suck my blood. I teased him in the mirror. Jake went as a werewolf, shredded shirt showing off his physique, growling playfully as he adjusted his ears. Rawr. I'll protect you from the monsters, accept me. Matt opted for Einstein. Wild white wig, lab coat, but forgot his glasses upstairs. Relativity means I don't need perfect vision. Ethan came as a millionaire, tuxedo, fake Rolex, carrying a briefcase of Monopoly money. I'm myself, but richer. The party was packed, strobe lights flashing, people dancing awkwardly in costumes. Jake and I navigated the crowd, his hand on my lower back guiding me. You look hot as a vamp, he murmured, nipping my ear. We found a dark corner away from prying eyes, where he pulled me close for a steamy kiss. Fangs clashing comically at first, then deepening into something intense. His hands gripped my waist, pulling me flush against him. Bite me, Alex, he whispered, voice husky. Romantic dancing followed, bodies swaying to a slow song amid the chaos. But humor struck when Matt, half blind without glasses, bumped into a witch, spilling punch everywhere. Apologies. Inertia caught me off guard. He kept colliding with people, turning the dance floor into a pinball game. Ethan, flirting with a group of mermaids, yelled, Matt, you're a menace. Someone spiked the punch, and things escalated. Matt, usually reserved, chugged a cup and started dancing wildly. Arms flailing, wig askew, glasses finally retrieved but flying off mid-twirl. He attempted the moonwalk, slipped on spilled candy, and crashed into a table of snacks. Quantum leap failed. We all rushed over, laughing as we helped him up. Jake and I escaped to the roof for air, the city lights twinkling below. Under the stars, he cupped my face. Love these nights with you. The kiss was tender, wind whipping our costumes. Love you, he murmured against my lips. My heart melted, pure romance. Back inside, the party wound down with us sharing stories. Ethan declared it best Halloween ever. As we crashed in our beds, Jake whispered from his sweet dreams, vamp. Hijinks and heartbeats, the perfect blend.